Hi guys, this is Aslam Khan here to teach you 7115 paper 1 Business Studies Cambridge O level May June 2020. We have already explained you on the previous videos how to do question number 1 and question number 2 on this particular paper, which is May June 2020. Today I'm going to speak about paper 1 question number 3 of this same paper. Before we move on to the question, I want you to do a small thing. Please subscribe my channel to learn with me. I have updated even in accounting certain parts. Please do not forget to learn those too. Let's start, guys. Well, let's move on to the question, guys. A small request before we move on to this particular question. I will have a spotlight in my hand. You can see my cursor. So when I'm reading the questions, please have a look on this spotlight. This question I have already explained. I'm going to explain today question number 3, which is Scala. Let's discuss this in detail. So I hope you can see now in a better view. So let's start, guys. Okay, so moving on to the point, you might see Carla always wanted to be an entrepreneur. She used to work for a business which downsized its workforce 5 years ago. She then decided to start up CHL. She produced a business plan which helped her obtain finance. Carla now designs customized sports clothes for women. Carla sells these products directly to customers using e-commerce. She has a loyal customer base of 25 to 40-year-old. However, Carla is worried about increased competition in this niche market. One idea she has is to target different market segments. So you don't understand, guys. Carla is a lady who wants to become an entrepreneur. She has quit her job because the company has made her job quit because they have made redundant of this position. Because if they ask what is downsized in your exams, you need to know downsize means the employer is sending the employee out of the organization. That's what we say, downsize. So Carla has been downsized by the previous job. So she has planned to start up something company called CHL, but she needed to prepare a business plan. After preparing the business plan, she can expand. So that's the thing she's thinking. Now she is most probably designing the customized product, sports clothes for women, and she is having a good customer base within 25 to 40. And they are saying that she is trying to market her products into different segments. So before moving on to the question, guys, we need to understand what is market segment. Market segment means dividing a specific market into small parts and focusing on that particular part is known as market segments. So let's start the question together. Define business plan. Okay, so what is the business plan, guys? What do you think about business plan? A business plan, it can be something the organization should prepare to present it in order to obtain some sort of loans. They need to have a business plan, or it's like showing out what are the main objectives or what are the main aims a business should have in order to achieve. So if you have a business plan, you know where you are going, so you will not go wrong. So you will always go on a correct direction. That's the basic thing you need to understand of business plan. So when I write what is business plan for 2 marks, I can give it very short as possible, but I'm going to write now. So please do not forget to write with me. So let's start writing what is business plan. We can put business plan in simple terms. So I'm going to write, please write with me. A business plan, or you can say it is a document. It is a document. A business plan is a document which explains about the aims or you can say aims or objectives. Okay, aims or objectives. So it is a document which explains aims, objectives and operation, and you can also say an important details about operations, finance and ownership. So this is the basic definition of a business plan. This is very easy for you to understand that. If they ask in exam what is business plan, you should be able to say that it's a document which explains the basic aims and objectives of the business. It speaks about their main operation and how they do finance and how the ownership is maintained when it comes to Carla's business. So they haven't asked about Carla's business. We don't want to speak about Carla's here. It's just an application of definition. So you get 2 marks at this point. Let's move on to the next part then. I'm going to move on to the next part. So I'm going to erase this off. Okay. So let's move on to the next part. I'll take my spotlight, guys, for me to make it easier. Identify two reasons why a business might downsize its workforce. You need to know the terms when you're specifically scoring when it comes to exams or business studies. Downsize means reducing the number of employees in a company. Most of the time, this happens when the company is closing their business or shutting down the business, or even if the company is relocating. I mean, they are moving to a different place for a different market. If they are moving from UAE to Germany, or if they are going from UK to Sri Lanka, so if they are moving their place of business, then of course they will reduce the level of workforce, or they might consider the cost of production is high, so they will reduce the level of workforce. You can write any answer in exams. You don't want to go as per the marking scheme. Still, the examiner says that if your answer is something appropriate, we will give you marks. But for remember, for this question, they have asked identify. So for identification, you don't want to, for identification, you should not write explanation. So some people, what they do is they used to write for 2 lines. It's not something like that. For identification, even if you can write in a line, still the examiner gives marks in Cambridge. So let's write the answer. It's very easy. Number one, we can also say closure of business. If they are closing or shutting down the business, the employees might move from one place to another. Or you can also say the business is relocating their place. Is relocating. You can say their place. So if they're actually moving to a different area, or you can also say the company has decided to move to a different area, then of course they will downsize, they will limit the level of employees. Increasing cost of production, or they say that the demand has decreased for the product, or they have replaced machines with employees. All this can be a good reason for downsize its workforce. Downsize means reducing the level of workforce in an organization. So giving you a easy explanation on this part, let's move on to the C part without wasting your time and mine. C says outline two reasons why Kala's business might need finance. Why do you think Kala's business need finance? Now this is where you need to be a bit concerned. They are giving you 4 marks, so when you write a reason, that reason should be a good explanation. You can't give one line and be satisfied that you are given enough point. For knowledge you get 1 marks here, and for application you get 1 marks here. For reason 1, so you get 2 marks, and for reason 2 you get 2 marks. So you need to be concerned about the marks you're going to score. Outline 2 reasons why Kala's business might need finance. Number 1, I can give you a lot of explanation why a business need finance. You need to think as an entrepreneur. If you are having your own business, you need money to expand. You need money to pay day-to-day expenses. You need money to pay your suppliers on time. You need money to advertise your products. You need money to bring new components into your business. So I will say in short term 2 things where I can write. Reason 1, I'll write it as to maintain liquidity. Okay, so what is this liquidity? Many people ask me this question when I teach my students. Liquidity means you need to understand that you need to have enough money to run your business day to day. So that's what we say liquidity. So to maintain liquidity is important. Why it is important? Because if you do not have enough money to run the business day to day, you will go through problems like cannot pay the suppliers on time, cannot buy the goods on time, inventories on time. So much of problems will become, and this shortage will become even a chance to lose the business reputation. So you can write maintain liquidity as a business. You can, I'll drag this a bit bigger. A business can, as a business, to maintain liquidity, as a business can pay their suppliers on time. Okay, suppliers on time when reordering the products. Also you can say, okay, and also liquidity helps the business to manage its cash flow without any difficulty. So I have given you the basic explanation about how to maintain a liquidity. My text, I am writing it in a very shorter way, but you need to understand in exams. Yeah, so when you are writing this answer, guys, I've given you the basic reason to maintain liquidity, as a business can pay their suppliers on time when reordering and also when ordering the products, you need to have enough cash. So, and also liquidity helps the business to manage its cash flow without any difficulty. So you can pay, you can you can pay your wages, you can keep your employees happy. Whenever you need some sort of finance, you should have some sort of immediate need, you need to have some sort of money. That's what we say, liquidity. Let's move on to the second point. So I'll erase this part so you can see reason 2. So I have given the reason 1. If you have missed it, go a bit behind and you can get the answer. Okay, so let me move on to the point here. So I'll zoom a bit, yeah, outward, so you will have a good look on what I'm trying to teach. Reason 2. What might be the reason to why a Kala needs finance to purchase? We can say to advertise, or you can also say to purchase non-current assets. Why a business need non-current assets? Because if they can buy the non-current asset at certain specified time, some people think that, some people what they do is they keep the business money as safe in the locker. I say you guys, when you do business, like you need to think like a businessman on business studies paper. If you can purchase non-current asset, you can generate revenue as much as possible and you can pay your short-term expenses. So money is very important when it comes to purchasing non-current asset. It is very important because then you can expand. Okay, so purchasing non-current asset is also an expansion of a business. So if they really want to expand in a shorter way, they should purchase non-current asset, which is important. So I'll write here to purchase non-current asset. Why do you think purchasing non-current asset will bring you enough things? Because your reason should be something which makes the examiner happy to give you a mark. So you should not write to purchase non-current asset and solidly stop from that point. This is what we say knowledge. Now I need to apply the knowledge properly. How do I going to apply? I'm going to teach you now. To purchase non-current assets, so this I have given you. By purchasing non-current asset, what will happen? I can write it down. To purchase non-current assets, as these non-current assets, okay, you can write, will generate revenue for the business in short term, in short and long term. So you got this basic thing. You will have, it can help you to increase the level of amount on the business, because it can generate sales and also it will increase the productivity. And also you might, you can also say Kala. You can apply Kala's name if you want, but it's important. If you can apply, you'll get marks in exams. That's how it goes. So Kala will be able to increase her, I don't know, her, I think her productivity. So what is productivity? You can increase the level of level of products what you are producing. Your output also will increase if you have an another asset. So your reason should be something, something okay for the examiner to give you marks. When he is giving you a mark, he should be satisfied with the reason what you are giving. So I have given you the C answer also. Let's move on to the D part. Okay, so I'm gonna erase this. Yeah, let's move on to D part. D part, what does it say? Explain one advantage and one disadvantage to call up using e-commerce to sell a product. So you need to give one advantage, then one disadvantages. So what might be the advantage of selling in e-commerce? Now students need to understand that what is e-commerce. The term is very important. Then only you can apply the knowledge. E-commerce means selling your products through online. Now what is Kala selling? So we'll go back again to the case study and understand what is Kala saying. So Kala is selling, she produced a business plan which help her obtain finance. Kala now design customized sports clothes for women. I hope you can see this. So she is selling customized sports clothes for women. So if you can sell customized sports clothes for women, what would happen to the business? Actually, selling customized sports clothes in internet, what can it bring? It is very easy. Any people from any country can purchase the product at any time, and also it's very convenient to people to purchase the product. It's very easy for them to look onto the website. Very convenience can be a good answer. And e-commerce is fast service, so that also people will save a lot of time. So you can speak of a lot of things when it comes to Kala of using e-commerce. Now they are not asking the advantage from the customer's point of view. What they are asking from Kala's point of view. So they can, the Kala can send her products details for different customers in different regions. So that's the basic advantage of Kala. And what might be the disadvantages? Kala will not be able to send it for the correct crowd, because some people might have internet, some people might not have internet, and not only and also Kala might be able to pay for advertisements and pop-ups. She should pay when it comes to e-commerce. So your product doesn't reach with a glimpse of, with a glimpse of second. It moves from your point to the customer's point of view from the investment you make. So Kala should invest more into the business, into the e-commerce, in order for her products to be sold on the market. That's what you need to understand. So let's move on to the advantage you need to know. So advantage I will write here why Kala is using e-commerce. What might be the benefit Kala using e-commerce to sell her products? You can say, I'm going to write here easy one, targeting. Yeah, I'm going to write here targeting. Now she is selling what to say, women's clothes, sportswear women's clothes. I will say targeting. Okay, targeting women's. This might be the advantage. What might be the explanation? You can say, as Kala is concerned, as Kala is selling her products through e-commerce, okay, e-commerce, she can, what she can do, she can focus and identify her customer base. Okay, so once she is selling the product towards e-commerce, she can focus and identify her customer base, and it will be very easy for her to understand the requirements of women. So having a what to say, e-commerce not only targeting women, it also can save a lot of time. It can also save a lot of employee costs, because when you have internet, when you can do e-commerce, you don't want sales staffs to be recruited. This also can be written as an advantage. You write sales staffs to be recruited, or it can be saving time. It can be conveniently making people to purchase the product. Something like that, also considerable answers. Whatever you feel, you can write on your paper, but something when you give a question. Now see here, I'm speaking about targeting women. My explanation should be relevant to that. Some people, what they do is they give some point on advantage and they literally write something else on the explanation, which is very wrong. We should not do that when you're writing an answer. So it says that as Carla is selling her products through e-commerce, she can focus and identify her customer base, and it will be very easy for her to, not why guys, I'm very sorry, it's to understand the requirements of women. So I have written, I think, a toy. So don't write toy in exam. So it's wrong. So then we move on to the disadvantage. I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna go down for you to show how to write disadvantage. So what might be Kala's disadvantages? So actually, if you use e-commerce, what might be the disadvantage? You can't specifically identify what customers actually want. Some customers wanted to purchase the product and they want to try it before they wanted to purchase it. So that thing will not be always available, because trying fitting on, we say it as fitting on, will not be available, because you are selling the product through online. So that might be the biggest disadvantage when it comes to a product. So let's write the disadvantage, guys. I can say what might be the disadvantage. Just think one or two. Okay, we'll write customers. Yeah, I'll write here customers want to try before buying. That might be a good reason. Want to try before buying. So this might be a good reason. You can give it as an disadvantage, because if you can't make customers, if customers cannot try the product, then of course it will not be a successful thing. So you can write here, as Scala is selling the products through online, Scala is selling the products through online, through or using e-commerce. the customers will lose a chance, will lose the chance of wearing the product when they make the purchase. Then you should write, if the product is not satisfactory, they might even return the product. Which increases the customer dissatisfaction. So I have given you a term, guys. I have given disadvantages customers want to try before buying it, and I have given a good explanation for you. As Kala is selling the products using e-commerce, the customers will lose the chance of wearing the product when they make the purchase. If the product is not satisfactory, they might even return the product, which increases the customer dissatisfaction, which is very bad things for a business like Kala when they're selling the products towards customer. So I've given you the basic explanation on A, B, C, D. Let's move on to the last part, which is the hardest part on writing an answer paper. Consider this as the point because these questions are very tricky. You need to be very careful when you're writing the answer for this. So it says, okay, let's move on to the point. Do you think selling to different market segment is the best way for a small business to respond to increased competition? Justify your answer. Now they are asking, if you are a small business, is it a good way selling to different market segments? You know what is market segment? I already explained on the first part of the video. Market segment means you divide the market into specific segments and you target the product towards that market. So if you are targeting the product towards market, is it a good way of responding? That's what they're asking. I might say it might be a good thing or it might not be a good thing, but do not give the conclusion always on the beginning. What many students they do is they give the conclusion at the beginning and they lose the marks, because if it is no, sometimes the examiner says yes, then of course you will lose the whole marks, because the examiner will not watch the whole thing. He doesn't have time to review the whole stuff. So you need to be very concerned when you're giving the review. It should be at the final 2 lines of the answer sheet. So when you are asking, when they have asked a question like, do you think selling to different market segment is the best way for small business to respond to increased competition? So if there's a lot of competition, is it a best way for a small business to respond to different market segments? So write the good part of selling to different market segment, then say what they can do when it comes to increased competition. How can a small business respond to increased competition, and give a final conclusion. Is it better to respond to market segment or better to respond, I mean, is it better to sell to a different market segment, or is it better to respond to the increased competition? So let's start writing the answer. If I was you in exam, I'll write in this way, which will make you to score much better. Your answers, if it is much appropriate to the question what they have asked, still you will get marks, but do not forget to write. This might be the way an examiner might expect. So I'm giving you the easy way. I'm a lecturer, I'm a chartered qualified person, so I'm giving you the easiest way for you to score on paper. And if this is not satisfactory, find out your own way. Your own way always prefers the most marks. This is my way. So if you like it, you can learn it. Okay, so then let's start. Market segmentation, okay, not market segmentation will reduce the risk of Kala's business. So I have given market segmentation will reduce the risk of Kala's business as she is not focusing on one particular area when selling the product. In simple terms, you can also say, in simple terms, she is diversifying her products into the market. So what is this diversification? When you are not only selling for one market, you are selling for different market. This is what we say diversification. When one market makes losses, you will make a profit on another market. So we can say she is diversifying her products into the market, and this will boost her revenue and make her and she might get a new customer base. So actually, if she can go into different markets and sell her product, then of course many people will know about that, so they will start to purchase the product. This will increase her revenue, and she might get a new customer base. So this is a basic explanation about, first I explained about market segment. I have said here market segmentation will reduce the risk of Carla's business, as she is not focusing on one particular area when selling the product. In simple terms, she is diversifying her products into the market, and this will boost her revenue. She might, and you can write, this will boost her revenue. I'll take this end, guys. Okay, this will boost her revenue, and she might get a new customer base, reducing her level of risk. Reducing her level of risk because she is not focused on in one area. So now this is what we say application. I have done my application properly, but now I should say how they can, how a Carla's business can respond to increased competition on her market. So you can write, if Carla is responding to the increased competition, or you can say Carla can respond to increase competition by spending a huge amount on advertisement or lowering the price to attract the sales. So right. So, but do you think that when you are spending a lot in advertisement as a small business, you spend a lot of money in advertisement? Is it a good way or appropriate way to get income? I don't think so. So, or if you are lowering your price to attract the sales, you might get customers, but still the market leaders also can decrease their price and they can put you down. Sometimes they might have deep pockets, they might have deep income, they might have enough, might have enough income, so they are not worried about the losses they are going to make. So, but you will be worried. So I will consider it's better to segment the market and sell the product, because it can diversify, it can bring customers, it can also reduce the level of risk. But on the other side, spending on advertisement and lowering the price will also reduce your level of money which you are going to get. So I will write a conclusion by considering the above points. Always say like that. Don't write from my point of view, from understanding, or I give you an opinion. Don't write I. Always say by considering the above facts or by considering the above points. You can write. This is a good term you can use, above points. It's better Carla can segment her product to reduce the level of risk than to respond to respond to increase competition by spending more on advertisement and what might she do, and lowering the price, as it is reducing her profit and maximum. So I have given you a basic answer, guys, when you're writing an answer for exams. Like e-question, they are asking, do you think selling to different market segment is the best way for a small business to respond to increase competition? Justify your answer. As I said, market segmentation will reduce the risk of Carla's business, as she is not focusing on one particular area when selling the product. In simple terms, she is diversifying her products into the market. This will boost her revenue, and she might get a new customer base, reducing her level of risk. So I gave about segmentation, and I also explained about how a small business will get attracted, or how they can focus on market segmentation, and how they can reduce the level of risk. Then I also said, if they are responding to increased competition, what would happen? Then I gave you a conclusion saying that by considering the above points, it's better Carla can segment her product. So I have written here wrong, cut, it's wrong, guys. It's product to reduce the level of risk than to respond to increased competition by spending more on advertisement and lowering the price, as it is reducing her profit at maximum. So her profit will go down if she is going to respond to the competition rather than responding to competition. It's better if she can focus on certain segments and reduce her risk. So I hope you understood in this video how Kala was able to tackle her problems, and we'll see on the next video how to respond to question number 4. Please do not forget to watch my other videos. I have put on 7115 question number 1 and question number 2. In paper, in accounting, I have updated almost 7110 recent papers, October, November, certain papers, and in future I'm trying to put on economics also. If you have anything to comment or to ask, please comment on comment section. If you have anything to clarify, please contact me on Instagram. Commerce with Mac is my Instagram account, and also you can follow me in Facebook, Commerce with Mac. So if you want others to learn like you, please share this message to others, and please do not forget to subscribe my channel and to click the bell button, guys. See you on the next video. Have a nice day, folks. Bye.